What's up, everybody? This is Chris, aka Bar911970. Thank you, as always, for checking out my videos. Been off for the past couple of days, just enjoying this lovely weather. We've actually had two wonderful days in a row, which is a miracle, it seems, these days. But one of the things that I've told people about on my channel is when I like to kind of relax a little bit, sometimes I'll watch other videos on YouTube, things that have nothing to do with what I talk about, just to kind of just relax. And I've been doing that lately. I've been getting more into organic products and everything. But people that have been watching my channel know that a while ago I used to be a gamer, so I subscribe to a couple of channels that talk about that stuff. And I was watching a video the other day. I won't mention the person's name or anything. And the one thing I've realized, and this will actually make sense with what my channel is about, is this person, the people, especially with these new video game systems, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, a lot of people I've noticed when you watch videos about them, people love to complain about them. They're talking about how the games are not the way they were promised, how they're delayed all the time, how the systems need to keep getting updated, and they're not working to the best of the ability, and there's not that many games to begin with, and people spent all of this money. And then I left a comment on it, because the person that was making the video was talking about a particular game on a particular system, and I'm not going to give credit to the video game system. And they were saying that it was going to be delayed another year, and it was not going to be the full 1080p like they said. It's going to be lesser quality. And the person was complaining about how bad it was and how disappointed he was, and then went on to say, well, when it comes out, I'm going to buy the $200 limited special edition. And to me, and this will make sense to what I talk about in my channel, is it blows my mind how people like to complain about how either corporations are being unfair, or how the food sucks, or the water is polluted, or the governments are corrupt and the bank system is stealing our wealth, and yet we continue to participate in a game we don't want to play. So does that mean that we should just keep complaining about something but not do anything about it? And I'm going to show you an example how that just doesn't make sense. Let's say you go to some fancy restaurant. You save up a little money, or you're going to you're taking your wife out or husband out to dinner. It's your 10th anniversary and you want something special, so you go to a fancy restaurant and you sit down and you order the top of the line sirloin steak, and it's very expensive, and you can't wait to get it. And they put this plate down, and it looks like something that came out of some TV dinner, and it's all disgusting looking, and it smells rotten. And you go and cut it open, and you take a piece, and it's undercooked, and it's just gross. Just imagine sitting there and saying, "Oh wow, this stuff, that's disgusting. This is, it's just too, it's raw, and it's gonna make my stomach sick, and it just doesn't taste right." And you just keep eating it, and then you pay for it. Does that make sense? The smart person would call the waiter over and say, "This is not satisfactory. I either want a new one that is better and the quality that I deserve for the price I'm going to pay, or I want my money back and we're leaving." Sitting there complaining and continuing to eat something that is bad, how does that help you? Because if it makes you sick, or if it was undercooked and you get some kind of illness and you die from that, because that can happen, is it their fault or your fault? Even if they did it on purpose, it's your choice to decide that instead of changing the scenario, to continue it and just complain about it. And that's why on that video I made a comment and I said, well, basically, if you're going to complain how bad a product is and how bad a company is, and then in the next breath talk about how you're going to buy it anyway, is it any wonder why these corporations just continually give out mediocre products? And that talks about governments giving out controls that are unfair to the masses, because we'll picket, we'll have rallies, demonstrations, we'll complain, but we still participate. And that's the one thing I try and instill on my channel, is to become more independent. And when I left that comment, some other person made a comment and said, well, we have to give them this money because otherwise they might go out of business and then we'll have nothing. And I'm like, really? Is that the way it is? Because first of all, if they're giving crappy products, they should go out of business. And that would mean that we're not settling for garbage. And maybe a corporation will come along and say, you know what? They're not going to settle for this crap anymore. We better start putting out more quality products. Otherwise, we'll follow like the other companies that went out of business. That's why the banks, governments, anything that's bad for you, and they're doing it obviously on purpose, because it's either through their ignorance or they're doing it on purpose. There's two different choices, and that's it. If we participate in it, how are we giving ourselves the right to complain? And I was one of those people too. In the beginnings of my channels, I was always complaining about all the things that were bad. But yet, if we don't fix it, then we're part of that problem when we're contributing to it. I mean, just imagine if you're standing there in the middle of the street and somebody comes along and just starts punching you in the face. And you're sitting there saying, wow, this hurts. I don't like this. This really sucks. Why does this always have to happen to me? Why do I keep getting punched? Why can't they punch somebody else? Well, if you walk away or you block it or you defend yourself, you could stop the situation from continuing. Sitting there complaining is going to do nothing but get yourself further hurt. And that's why if you don't like the way banks run, don't put your money in a bank. If you don't like the garbage they put in the food, then start either growing your own or buying elsewhere. The idea is stop giving them your hard-earned currency and saying, I don't like it, but yet I'll still get it because it's convenient. And that's one of the reasons why I've been starting to teach and doing myself these organic products, because it's about being independent. It's about deciding that, yes, making my own bar of soap, for example, is going to take more effort than just going to a store and buying their cheap garbage. But their cheap garbage is going to be filled with petroleums and perfumes and chemicals that is not only going to be bad for me, it's going to be bad for my family. But it's cheap, because poison is cheap. But they use convenience to make you dependent on their corruption. And if all we're going to do is complain, then nothing's going to get fixed. And that's why even when it comes to government, especially in this country, the United States Corporation, and if you don't know that it's a corporation, you better start researching the Act of 1871 and what our 41st Congress did to this country to profit. It's through the consent of the governed. So if people don't if they don't do anything but complain, they're not disagreeing. Again, that's like somebody punching you in the face and you're just complaining. Yeah, that's complaining, but you're not doing anything about it. You're allowing the participation of that punch to continue. And then they give you the illusion of choice. President Republican here or President Democrat here. In other words, these are your choices. This is your freedom. Either corrupt one you want. They'll just have different points of view, but they work for the same system. And again, that's like me taking either fist and saying, choose which fist I'm going to punch you in the face with. It's a choice, but it's not a good one. So if you have a choice between Satan and Hitler, you're not winning either way, but you are making a choice, and that's what they're tricking people into doing. And we've gotten to the point where they get us so lazy and so fat and so depressed and so full of fear that we don't act. Now, I'm not saying start getting the pitchforks and torches and start burning up the towns. No, you just no longer consent. You don't like a product? Don't give them your money. You don't like the way a bank runs? Don't put money in your bank. If you don't like the cheap products that they're making, don't buy them. Make your own. Be better for your family. And that's what I've learned in this life and all the things that I'm doing. So when people make fun of the sun gazing and stuff, they may not understand it. But let's see, I can get the sun, which is free energy. I can do it properly. I can feel better, and I've felt better. It's been 2 years I've been sun gazing. Or I can go to a doctor, spend my money. They'll give me toxic chemicals from some kind of pill that will make me either too drowsy or have side effects, or they can give me radioactive treatments and spend all of my hard-earned money and my life savings to basically keep that from curing myself. But yet, when I talk about the sun gazing, which is free, and you could do it at any time you want, and it actually cures you, people say that's crazy. What I'm saying is you have to become more independent. I'm saying you have to stop complaining and start acting, because otherwise nothing is ever going to change. And when it comes to things like government, if we consent to it, even if through our silence, why are we complaining? So I hope you guys will learn that it's time to become more independent. It's time to make the effort. If it means better things for your family by making your own shampoos and making your own soaps or growing your own food, you know what you're putting in their bodies, instead of hoping that those companies that are showing time and time again that they're either incompetent or they're doing this stuff on purpose, it's either one or the other, that you're hoping they're doing the right thing. And so far, things are not getting better. So I wouldn't put my money or currency on the choice of governments and corporations and banks doing things for your best interest. Because if they were, things would be much better at this point. Thank you. No, thank you. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your day, and don't forget to share and favor this. I'm disabling the like thing, so this way I don't have to worry about some of those people anymore. And if you appreciate it, just give it a share and give it a favor. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.